Hello and welcome to End Time Signs and the Headlines, brought to you by the Light of Life Ministry. I'm going to go over just a few of the top headlines for Sunday, July 13th, 2014. But be sure to visit us on our blog at endtimesigns.wordpress.com, where you can register to receive updates via your email, as well as like us on Facebook at facebook.com endtimesignsheadlines. First in the news, deadliest, rarest form of plague contracted near Denver. A Colorado man is infected with the rarest and most fatal form of plague, an airborne version that can be spread through coughing and sneezing. It's the first case of pneumonic plague seen in the state since 2004, said Jennifer House, a spokeswoman for the Colorado Department of Public Health and Environment. The man, who hasn't been identified, may have been exposed in Adams County near Denver, health officials said in a statement. While House said the man has been hospitalized and treated, she wouldn't release other details about his situation. He's on treatment long enough to not be transmissible, House said in a telephone interview. He may have contracted the illness from his dog, she said, which died suddenly and has also been found to carry the disease. A bright object that dazzled in the sky over Australia left people confused. Social media was abuzz with the pictures of the mystery fireball, with users claiming it was either a plane crashing into the ocean or a meteor. A round object with a burning tail was spotted in the sky over Victoria, NSW, Tasmania, and South Australia in about 9:45 local time on Thursday night. Air Services Australia spokesman Paul Sadler told ABC Radio that pilots and air traffic controllers also reported the flaming object. A number of pilots reported it to air traffic controllers and said it was just a spectacular sight of a meteorite entering the Earth's atmosphere, he said. The light show lasted for around 30 seconds, but eyewitnesses were fast to post pictures and start speculating online about what the object could be. Some of them claimed the fireball was a meteor, and others suggested it might have been a plane on fire. You can view the video of that meteorite at our blog. The conservative meltdown over unaccompanied Central American children showing up at the border reached a new but inevitable peak. Armed Bundy Ranch-style militias waving guns at them. These gunmen were moved to action not because of the plight of these poor, desperate children whose parents sent them north in the hopes they might escape the violence, civil unrest, and crushing poverty in their home countries. No, instead, they are just livid that America has to deal with them. So they grabbed their guns, packed up their American flags, and headed to the border. Operation Secure Our Border organized members of the Patriot movement gained experience in gun-wielding bullying during the showdown at Cliven Bundy's ranch. Remarkably, their threats of violence had their desired effect, and the U.S. government backed away from the fight. Emboldened, the group now hopes it can do the same on the border. According to a YouTube video since deleted, posted by one of the activists organizing the group, they are now operating under strict kill orders if they see any illegals. At one point in the video, the activist, identified by the Monitor as Chris Davis, tells prospective immigrants, "Get back across the border or you will be shot." Operation Secure Our Border already has members in Texas, but they also ask that more patriots join them in the coming weeks. In addition, Minuteman Project founder Jim Gilchrist says he's launching the Operation Normandy program, and he hopes it will, by next summer, gather 3,500 volunteers on the U.S. border to stop an invasion. What Gilchrist describes as an invasion is the flood of illegal aliens, including many children, coming into the United States from Mexico. Many of the illegal aliens are from Central America, where the word has spread that those who reach the United States gain access to food, housing, health care, and education. A 6.8 earthquake hit off the coast of Japan, with its epicenter located some 129 kilometers from the city of Namei in Fukushima Prefecture, U.S. Geological Survey reported. The quake was centered at a depth of about 10 kilometers, according to the Japan Meteorological Agency. Tsunami advisories were issued for Fukushima Prefecture, as well as for nearby Iwate and Miyagi prefectures, but were lifted 2 hours later. There were no reports of abnormalities at Fukushima 1 nuclear plant following the quake, TEPCO reported. Call it the ghost of the polar vortex sequel, or the polar vortex's revenge. Meteorological purists may tell you it's not a polar vortex at all. However you choose to refer to the looming weather pattern, unseasonably chilly air is headed for parts of the northern and northeastern U.S. at the height of the summer early next week. Bearing a haunting resemblance to January's brutally cold weather pattern, a deep pool of cool air from the Gulf of Alaska will plunge into the Great Lakes early next week and then ooze towards the East Coast. Of course, this is not July, or I'm sorry, it is July, not January, so temperatures forecast to be roughly 10 to as much as 30 degrees below average won't have quite the same effect. Well, the roads are melting at Yellowstone. Firehole Lake Drive in Yellowstone National Park has been temporarily closed to a damaged road surface. Extreme heat from surrounding thermal areas has caused thick oil to bubble to the surface, damaging the blacktop and creating unsafe driving conditions on the popular scenic road located off the Grand Loop Road halfway between Old Faithful and Madison Junction in the park's Lower Geyser Basin. The 3.3-mile loop drive takes visitors past Grand Fountain Geyser, White Dome Geyser, and Firehole Lake. 3 rockets were launched in Dimona in southern Israel on Wednesday afternoon. The Iron Dome intercepted 1 rocket before it could land, while 2 other rockets landed in open areas. Hamas claimed responsibility for the rockets, stating that it had been attempting to hit the nuclear reactor. Militants from Hamas's Qassam brigade said they launched long-range M75 rockets towards Dimona. Minutes later, the Iron Dome intercepted rockets in Ness Ziona, Yavne, and Rehovot of central Israel as Gaza terrorists extended the range of their rockets and on Operation Protective Edge's second day. And lastly, the storm that killed 4 people in Smithfield, New York on Tuesday evening may have been the deadliest tornado in New York State history. A survey team from the National Weather Service in Binghamton, New York, determined that a tornado destroyed the homes where 4 people were killed in this upstate New York town. The survey crew completed its survey Wednesday afternoon, concluding that the tornado packed winds of up to 125 miles per hour, earning it an EF2 rating on the enhanced Fujita scale. Tornadoes are increasing, or New York is actually seeing more tornadoes now, as New York's tornado density was 2.10 tornadoes per 10,000 square miles per year from 2000 to 2012, which is a 71% increase from 1.22 in the 1950 to 1999 period. Well, that's it for now. Just a quick rundown of the top headlines. Be sure to check us out at endtimesigns.wordpress.com and on Facebook at facebook.com/endtimesnewsheadlines. And we will see you next week.